You're listening to the Mind of a Boyfriend podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Mind of a Boyfriend. My name is Q, and with me I have Bobby. Shut up. Let me finish. Okay, that's when you say that's what she said, but it's fine. So, the Mind of a Boyfriend.
That's what she said.
You're late, bro. You're late.
No, it's the timing. It's timing.
Your timing is off. Your timing is off, bro. Your timing is So, if you're listening for the first time, The Mind of a Boyfriend is a platform where we talk about love, relationships, and everything in between. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. You are far too kind. And I will take this moment to give a couple of shout outs. Should I do that?
Definitely.
I would like to give a shout out to Bobby, to Lance, and myself for being amazing people, for giving you this content.
Being so nice.
For being so nice, bro.
Really nice people.
We're nice people. And thank you guys for being part of this because, I mean, we are awesome, yeah? Right? So on the spectrum of awesome, a big shout out to Empress, is it Empress of Buckingham? Michelle.
Bro.
Michelle, bro. Michelle, a big shout out to you. You've been amazing. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Actually, before Empress, I have to say this one more time.
She's been the most wholesome.
She's been, there's a time when I thought like the podcast was so, it was just, like when you're doing your episode, right? And then you're just like, but who's going to listen, bro? Like, who's going to listen? And every episode, bro, they should comment. Every single episode, bro.
So be like her.
Yeah.
Don't forget to leave a comment. Do us a favor, actually, right? Comment, say your thoughts so that we know what you guys are thinking and if you're listening, right? And also a big shout out to Dave. I was saying Dave, and then it got overpowered by Empress because Empress, man. Right.
But it was Dave.
Dave, yeah. And a big shout out to Chantel. Thank you for the audience that you gave us all the way from Cyprus. You are amazing. Yeah. And a big shout out to, I want to say Michelle, another Michelle, but then this one is in China. And I'm now realizing she doesn't listen to everything, right? Why am I giving her props? Michelle, do the right thing. Do the right thing. And a big shout out to Tamika in Germany. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
And one more person. The most random person. A big shout out to Leroy.
Leroy is
for watching the last 4 or 5 episodes religiously.
Bro.
Listening to the last episode so religiously, bro. You know, like when he finishes listening to an episode, he calls me.
And then he tells you.
Either he calls me or he comes to me and says, bro, that episode. Especially like the episode 17.
Yeah.
Right? That one's good. That one, he came here for an hour, bro.
Yeah, speaking of episode 17.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Lefi as well. A big shout out to Chris, Bisong. These are the people that listen to the things that we say because we think, hey, maybe no one listens, but then they actually engage with the content, right?
Facts, yeah.
And I'm not saying these are the only people that engage. We will have a list where we talk about each and every one of you guys, the people that follow the channel, the people that have been following the podcast when it started, the YouTube videos, and then the blog days, because it's a big audience right now.
It's a big audience, and you guys make it all worth it.
This is all for you, right?
Yeah.
It's all love, and we love you guys. So if we're talking about love, why not just give you a topic that's related to love, right? Right. So if you guys are doing this to us, what are you doing in your relationships? Yeah, is love enough to make things keep going, bro?
Yes.
Right. So today's topic is love enough?
Is it enough?
So equating to what we've been doing and what we've been saying, right? You guys are subscribing, you're following, you're doing all these things. Is it enough to keep us, right? Let's go back to your relationships. Is love enough? Or there's more things that are needed to make
I don't
things
feel
work?
like I'm attacking people who listen to our episode, but I'm still going to ask this question, right? If you can listen for 30 minutes to a podcast for 30 minutes, are you able to talk to your partner for that long?
Yeah, bro.
Are you able to either talk to them on a call, talk to them on text?
For 30 minutes, nonstop.
Exactly. Are you able to do that?
Yeah, so is love enough? Because that's part of it. That's communication, right?
Yeah. And then the other thing is on love, right? And this goes out to most of the girls out there. Would you date a guy that is broke? Not stingy, by the way.
Broke.
broke.
Right? I would need you to define broke because I now believe in a different definition of broke.
Broke is can barely support himself.
Well, pay attention. I think say the list, bro.
I know that's poor. That's poor.
We had actually one of our episodes we talked about being broke and being poor.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. And some of us are poor. Some of us are now poor, by the way. But anyways, would you date someone you love them?
Yeah.
Mind you love them. You know in your soul you love them.
Yeah.
Would you marry?
Is love enough in that case?
Yeah. Would you marry him? Like, you know you love him. You've been in a relationship for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? You know you love him. You know he loves you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like, when he gets $10, he spends $9 on you.
Yeah.
Right? And the dollar for transport for that next day, I don't know, like, the mathematics of it. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Is he enough? Is that love on its own enough to make you stay in that relationship in the long run?
Right. Now, before we get to this, right, this is for the purposes of those actually got to this point. Please tell us your experiences. Have you dated someone who's broke? Even if you are a guy, right, it counts because being broke is not gendered. Right?
Yeah,
you
true.
can be the financially stable one in a relationship and be drained by your partner's, financial shortcomings because that means you have to cater for two and it gets to a point where it's draining.
Facts. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So do share your experiences in the comments. Do tell us if you would date for love only and if love is enough. So let's get right to this topic again. Yeah.
So think about it this way, right? You
Yes, me.
are the most lovable guy in the world.
I am.
Most lovable.
Prince Charming.
No, actually, no. You know what? Let me switch this because we also need to ask guys. Would you date a girl who can't wash clothes, who can't cook, can't use a wash and dry or whatever? Let's say you can actually afford it. You still have to get a maid because your wife can't even use a wash and dryer. She'll wash the whites and blacks in the same same cycle.
Now I feel like you're gendering this,
No. Look.
Because you're not equating money to.
So what I'm trying to put is, in most cases, right? The broke people in a relationship tend to be guys, or the ones. Let me say, the relationships where love, right, is not enough because of money. It's usually the guy that can afford to take care of his partner.
True.
And then for men, the most cases where love isn't enough is finding a wife that can barely do any house duties.
Also, you just love her, but she can't do anything for you.
Exactly. She can't do anything. She's not bringing anything to the table besides her vagina and her love.
She brings Amabele to the table.
That trend. That trend. Fact. You see what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to gender this.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to open this up, right? So that, you realize that we're not just talking about money. We're talking about what the person brings to the table. We're talking about
whose table it is, things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about, funny enough, cheating, bro. For some people, loving you is enough. You can fuck whoever you want to fuck out there as long as I know that you love me and I love you.
Toxic.
I know. But trust me, there's relationships like that out there.
That is toxic and it's scary because it happens.
I know, bro.
Right.
I know. Yeah. So is love enough in a relationship to actually make a relationship stay a relationship? Like, despite all the negativity that comes out there, can just love on its own sustain a relationship?
I believe not. Right. Let's put it to an actual feasible test or scale, or like bring it to reality. Yes, you love me, right? But then there are other things. Am I compatible with you? Right? Because usually you find people saying, so this guy loved her so much, he took her to school and then she found a type and left him. Right? Yes, he loved her, right? But then they were not compatible because now she's finding people that work and, fit in her social rank, right? So which means you can love me, but if we're not in the social spectrum that's like similar, that could disconnect us, right? Right. So that's now bringing the society into that. Like, if we're not on the same social status, usually people fight against that. That's why people will be like, hey, so this girl is dating the rich because she wants to come up in life, right? And people will fight that relationship to a point where it actually ends because, hey, she's a gold digger, right? They love each other, but it's not enough, right? You have to have certain qualities to actually make it work.
So on most of my talking stages, I say this. I usually say, for me, besides love, there's 3 things that need to work for me for a relationship to work.
Yes.
Not just 3, but these are the main 3, right?
Okay.
1, we need to be compatible intellectually.
True.
Right? I need to know that, like, for planning our future, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm not saying our IQ needs to be at the same level, but it needs to be close, right? We need to, when I tell you a joke, right? Bro.
You need to get it.
Exactly. You have to get it, bro. You know? But all of that stuff, right? Everything that has to do with intellectual compatibility comes in.
True.
The second one is spiritual compatibility.
Yeah.
Bro, I realized I don't think I could date a girl that's a sangoma or believes in traditional stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just saying it's not for me. I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Through and through, right?
True.
That's what I believe in.
Yeah.
And I will not be in a relationship where I am forced to tolerate things that are against my religion, right? Or force you to accept my religion for your happiness because we're in love, right? So that one is also very important for me. The last one is sexual compatibility, right? We need to be compatible sexually. First and foremost, I need to be attracted to you, right? That's one of the most important things. I need to be at least attracted to you, bro. Like, I need to be attracted to you for me to even approach you, right? Love comes in, yes, but if I'm not attracted to you, what's the point? If the sex is terrible, what's the point? Am I gonna marry you knowing that, hey, bro, she's just gonna be her, you know, like she's just gonna laying down, looking up, closing her eyes and letting me, you know, because at some point it feels like the R word, right?
Yeah.
And that's not where we want to go. So we need to be compatible sexually. Plus, other people, bro, in a relationship, they don't even want to talk about the topic.
Yeah.
Right? For them, it's a very taboo topic.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm very liberal about how I talk about that topic.
Yeah.
Did I use that word right?
Yes, you did. You're very liberal with your words right now.
So I'm very liberal with that topic, right? So I find it very important for me to. So those 3 things for me, if they're not there, mind you, the intellectual part also includes communication.
Yeah.
I think if we're at the same level intellectually, we should be able to communicate our interests, our beliefs, our wants, our needs, our dislikes at the same level of understanding.
Yeah,
right?
True.
Yeah. So those things. Without those 3 things, I don't feel like love is enough for me. I can love you, but if we're not compatible sexually, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's intense.
If I can love you, but if I'm not attracted to you, or if I love you and you believe in Satanism, the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Right? Because what the spiritual part also, right? Say you get married to someone and they do traditional stuff. What do you think is going to happen every Sunday morning when you're going to church?
That. Yeah. So related to this, this what Bobby is bringing up, do check out episode 11 and 12 where we talk about, actually it's episode 12 and 13 where it says it's you, not me. Valid reasons.
Valid reasons.
Yeah, valid reasons to break up, right? So that's related to what he said. Everything he just said, it talks about, compatibility spiritually, sexually, and mentally, right? So we're now at a point where we're saying love is not enough.
It's not,
right?
Bro. It's not.
Love is the basis of a relationship. We're not saying it's not necessary, but it's not enough alone. Because with love, you can't sustain and buy napkins with love, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly, yeah.
Right? You can't win fights with love alone, bro. But then love is a prerequisite in a relationship. We have a lot of people that do get married and they divorce way fast because love is not there, right?
Exactly.
So do not get us wrong. Love is necessary. You might have all these things that Bobby was talking about. You're compatible sexually. you're compatible, what you call it?
Intellectually
and spiritually.
Yeah.
And, in other aspects as well, like I talked about social ranking or status, you're also compatible there, but then you don't love each other. So whenever you get to a point where you're fighting or you disagree, you don't have something to fall back on, right? It becomes impossible for you to have common ground because you don't love each other. And we have a lot of marriages like that because people feel like, hey, if love is not enough, why should I suffer? Why should I be dating this broke person, right? So they're in relationships that are not happy, but they have everything else.
Yeah.
Right. So now that's the slippery slope. Maybe second question to all of you that are listening to this. Would you date where you have everything that you need, but you're not in love? Right. So would you date where you have everything, but you're not in love? Right. You get it? That is intense.
And strangely enough, would you date where you have everything, including love, but the sex is bad?
Oh, bro. Man, I feel like,
Because you know what, right? So this is where like those three things that I was talking about
come into play. Yeah.
Would you have everything, including love, right? But she's a bimbo.
Yeah.
Right? Like she's like, like, I don't want to use airhead because airheads are cute. Right? Like she's just plain dumb, bro. Oh, he's just plain dumb, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? I'll just leave it at that. To your imagination, what dumb really looks like for you, right? Like, Ed and Eddie.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Vacuum heads, bro.
Yeah. So would you date? Like, you have love. You love them, right? You love them. You believe in the same things, right? But, and the sex is amazing. But the intellectual ability is
just low.
And then the other aspect of it is you have your love, you have your intellectual compatibility, you have your, what else?
Everything you need.
Except for spiritual, where you are Christian and they're Satanist.
Okay, I feel like that's
atheist.
That's a bit extreme, but I get where you...
Atheist, or something along those lines, right? But basically, in those things, when one of those things is missing, it becomes a little bit twisted. It becomes a little bit compromisory, right? Because you will have to compromise. Because let's be honest, in most relationships, you will have to compromise on one.
Yeah.
Right? Or you may have to compromise on one. For example, if it's the sex, you can either teach them if it's bad, but obviously those we have... Or those you have E.G.
I don't know what you want to say at this point. I don't know what you want to say.
But you get where we're going with this, right?
Yeah.
If you want to go even deeper on that, you will just have to refer to the previous episodes, right?
Right.
But I also wanted to fall back on, when we're talking about the other things, communication.
Yeah, communication is, I think it's the cornerstone of any relationship, right? Because if you fail to do that, then what are you doing? Right. And that counts shorthand. Like shorthand.
Bro.
Who are you talking to? If you're lazy to talk to me, okay, this is going to sound personal. If you love me enough to claim it and say you love me, why does it take so much time for you to type in full? Are you too busy for me?
No, it's not about taking time to type in full. Why can't you take the time?
Yeah.
Because like if you're saying why are you taking time to take, it's not like, bro, just be there enough for you to actually care about me enough for you to finish your sentences or your words rather.
So it gets to a point where like, are you too busy for me in that relationship?
Exactly.
And is there such a thing as being busy in a relationship? Like
we'll get back to that one. But I wanted you to listen to this statement, right? Uncommunicated expectations are premeditated resentment.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. If you know you don't like someone who, how do I put it? What's there that someone could like and can be a deal breaker?
Tribe.
Someone could do for you. Someone could do to you or say to you that you consider a deal breaker.
A deal breaker?
Yeah.
Asking me about my bank account.
Oh, okay. You know what? Let me do this. If you know you hate people who type in shorthand.
True.
and you don't communicate that to me, and I type shorthand to you,
I didn't.
That's an uncommunicated, right? And when it's uncommunicated and I do it, you will resent me.
Yeah.
So not communicating it
means I'm preparing for the resentment.
Exactly. You are actually setting me up for that resentment.
Yeah.
So this goes back to, I remember this married man, I was talking to him the other day. I don't know if I was talking to him or it was a video. I keep forgetting. I've talked to a lot of married men, bro. And I want to bring one to an episode
You have
soon.
To.
But anyways, so the whole idea was, woman says, baby, we're not doing gifts this Valentine's, so don't worry, In her mind, she's expecting a surprise from him, right?
And then he does nothing.
And then she gets home, actually she waits at work. She thinks maybe, nothing. She gets home.
Nothing.
She's thinking, maybe he's set me up at home. Nothing. She thinks, maybe he's going to take me out. Nothing. And how does she react? She's mad at the guy. She's mad at the guy for not doing anything. But then I'm like...
But you say you don't want anything.
Exactly.
Man.
Like, I know. Like, obviously... But for me, personally, to be honest, if you don't tell me... I'm not a witch doctor. I'm not a prophet.
Yeah.
Right?
But you see, when it comes to communication, I feel like maybe there's some parameters that make it a bit impossible, right? Because we communicate what we feel other people should hear, right? We start filtering for them, right? It gets to a point where we're like, me too. So that we're in sync. So there's some things that we don't really believe in.
Especially during that talking stage, bro.
You see, exactly. So if I'm like, I don't care about Valentine's, right? What I'm telling you is, I don't care about Valentine's, right? I'm hoping you don't care as well, right? And then if you say, hey, me too, I don't care about Valentine's, it's not my thing. And then Valentine's comes, and then now you complain that I didn't get you anything. But I did tell you.
That I don't care about
I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, I don't really give a shit about birthdays. Your birthday comes, depressed, like, hey, how come you didn't get me anything? I thought you don't believe in birthdays. Right? So I wouldn't want to offend you by doing something that you said you don't believe in. So with communication, I get your statement, the resentment one. Right? So if I'm not communicating enough, it gets to a point where I'm like, do I even love you enough if I'm not communicating to you the way I'm supposed to? Because I feel like love comes with being vulnerable. It comes with communicating fully and freely. Let me say freely. The reason why I'm saying freely, if you're in love, you're open to like saying things that you feel should be out there without fear, right? Because without also being afraid that they might leave you. Because there's some people that don't really appreciate communication. They say they want to communicate, right? But what they're saying is, you can talk, but after you talk, there are consequences.
Bro, like I've been in relationships where, and I will always say this to people I'm on a talking stage with, which are many, right? Which I've been to many of those, but where I'm going with this is, I will always tell you, if I don't like something, I will tell you, right?
And it's not a joke.
And for me, it's not a joke, bro. Like if I don't like something, I'll tell you. I was talking to this girl the other day, right? We're talking about something, and then the question she asked, actually, it's not about the question, it's how she asked it.
The tone.
It's like, for example, let's say we're talking about, let's say maybe you go to church, she goes to church every Sunday, right? And maybe let's say she knocks off at 12.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm like, so how about we meet on Sunday at 1? And then she's like, did I say I'll be free after church? The way she says that, right?
No, it's the tone.
And I'm like, I don't like how you said that. That's really rude and disrespectful. I will tell you like that, right? Bro. And she gets offended.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
right?
But
I told you in advance, first of all, I told you, if I don't like something, I'll tell you.
No, it's like you get what you
And now that I've told you, right? And you did something, you're the one that was in the wrong on this one. That's why I told you I didn't like what you did.
Yeah.
And then you have the audacity to be mad at me for communicating how I feel. Is there a chance for that relationship to work?
I feel like we should have a conversation or a proper topic where we talk about gaslighting. Because low-key, that's like related to that.
Is it? Yeah.
It is, right? So gaslighting takes a lot of forms, and that's one of them. Like where you invalidate the other person's feelings and thoughts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You communicated that you don't like this. I agree that you don't like that. But when it happens, I'll shift the blame to you and make your problem seem like it's something trivial. Like, you play like this, why are you being a bitch? Right? So it's like part of the whole gaslighting item where, I think we should actually have a full topic on that.
Let's do a topic on gaslighting.
Because there's a lot of people that are being, emotionally abused to a point where they have the Stockholm syndrome, where like every relationship they're in will be abusive because they're used to getting things like that, to a point where they don't even, see themselves as who they are.
Oh, actually,
they lose themselves.
There's even girls that are so used to being abused that if you're not abusing them, to them you're boring.
True. So man, that is dark. Yeah. So is that even love?
Bro, I think we need. I think we need an episode for this. Leave a comment. Bro, no.
Today you're gonna be leaving a lot of comments.
A lot of comments.
What we're doing is we're slowly, opening the Pandora's box, which is actually a vase, but we keep calling it a box. But that's what we're doing. So we're leaving a few breadcrumbs. If you listen to the previous episode, you understand.
Yeah.
Right. So we're creating a trail for the next coming episodes. So what you guys say in the comments will determine how we go about all this, right? Because we're now getting into a season where we're getting guests, we're getting people involved, because it's a community thing. Relationships are things you learn from other people as well, right? We see and then we do. Monkey see, monkey do.
Monkey do.
It's literally that.
Yeah.
Right, so back to the topic that we started with. Is love enough?
No.
Was
there such a thing as busy in a relationship?
Oh, no. That came about later on.
I feel like
you want to go back to the busy.
I want to go back to that one, bro.
Man, I feel like, okay, we've said I feel like a lot. Yeah. I think we say I feel like so that we sound and we can defend our feelings. It's easier to defend feelings than thoughts, because you persecute me for what I say, but it's a feeling, right? You can't say anything. So, easy, right? So this is how I'll put it. Love has ingredients. Right? And love comes in many forms. Let's agree on that one, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because some people will tell you, this is how I want to be loved. They'll tell you about some bullshit love languages that they learned on the internet like 4 weeks ago or some shit. Fuck that shit. Anyways, I'm not here to shit on love languages, right? But like I said, love takes different forms, and love has what? Ingredients, right? There's certain things that have to be there for love to actually make sense. I'm not saying there has to be some unicorn shitting gold or something for you to know you're in love, right? But there's certain ingredients that are needed. Bobby highlighted a lot of those, right? He talked about respect and all these other, commitments and the nitty gritties, the stuff.
The unicorns shitting gold.
You see the unicorns shitting gold, that being, sexual compatibility and all these other nice things, because those are the first elements that draw you to a person. You see bunda, you're like, oh, physical attraction, right? Those are the ingredients. Now, where am I going with this, right? With love having so many of these ingredients, right? Which ones are you choosing? Which things are you prioritizing? Because you can't get all of these in a person.
Yeah.
Which is impossible. So related to everything I just said, with these ingredients, there's time. Love is equated to attention and time. So are you really busy in a relationship? Right? If love requires attention and if time is an ingredient of love, can you ever be really busy in a relationship?
And the weird thing is, does the busy always go both ways? I'll get back to that. But anyways.
Man, that was deep.
I know.
It sounded like a small statement, but that was deep. Like,
no, I know.
Does it go both ways?
I'll give you an example, right? In most cases, right? No matter how busy you are,
you find time.
When your girlfriend texts you and says, baby, I need this.
Yeah.
Nigga.
You respond. Bro, like this is an experience that happened like quite recently. I was talking to a client, right? I was literally telling him what to do. And like we're vibing, we're talking, right? I understand this is business ethics, but we work on the phone most of the time. And then my phone starts ringing. Right, it was a guy I understood. I looked him in the eye, bro. I'm like, this is the missus calling. She never calls. So this is something that might be important, right? Because she knows I'm at work and she needs attention now. So listen, bro, can I take this? Guy's like, I understand. I'm a guy. I stepped out. I answered. We talked. I came back. Guy's like, you know how these things are. Do what you have to. right?
Yeah.
So you can never be really busy because you always have, time slots in between. No matter how busy you get, you go take a piss, bro. You go take a shit. You eat at some point, bro.
Bro, there's this time when I was in a relationship a long time back. I had to answer the call when I was taking it up.
You see, bro, like there's always...
Because I knew, bro. I knew.
That was the only time
the person I was dating. I knew. Like, if I don't answer this, why did you answer the call? Hey, what's going on? Hey, what?
Like,
I knew.
I knew.
And I was like, you know what? I might as well just answer this now and get it over with. Because I know the problems that I'm going to get are worse than this.
Okay, so you see, that experience is toxic on its own.
I know, bro.
You were being abused, but I get the sentiments. You're trying to, I don't know. What are you trying to do here? Are you venting?
I don't know.
Should we get tissues?
I don't know. But I will ask you this. If the same thing happened reverse, what would have happened?
Like if I was calling her.
Yeah.
And she
was busy talking to a client. Right? Would she have answered? Or would she have hung up the call and texted you and said, hi, baby, I'm dealing with a client. I'll call you back. Or would she just have hung up and put the phone away and finished what she's doing and then called you when she gets home and is about to sleep and you're now busy again doing something? Now, like, I'm just saying, like, because this is what happens in a lot of relationships. It may sound like I'm targeting this at you, but I'm targeting this at all the people out there. Yeah. Because one of the reasons why we want to talk about this topic is there is such a thing as busy in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's just that we've been made to believe there is no such thing.
No, you can be busy, but then busy can also be an excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, because
it's true.
Like there are valid parameters to being busy. Like I said, I was at work, right? I was with the client and she called, right? But then these are the indicators. She knows I'm at work. She's calling at that time, right? So which means it's urgent. So there are certain pockets of error, like loopholes to it. You can be so busy, bro. But like I said, you take a piss, you take a shit. Those are the times you say, hey, baby, earlier I saw your item. This is what I was doing, right? You can't take calls in a meeting, right? You're like, hey, I was in a meeting. And the beautiful thing about our phones now, when someone is calling you, there's an option that has text, right? So you tap on that, you'll say, can call, what's up? Or, you have like this pre-written text.
If you have text, that is.
Like, with modern phones, let me say that.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you have SMSs.
Yeah.
Because if you do that and you don't have any text messages,
it doesn't work. But in a perfect world, that's what happens, right? Let's say you're using a Ndori, your code phone there. Same thing, right? You get a call, you hang it up, right? Or you let it ring. But the moment you get free, you have to call back.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
So it goes back to the communication thing. Yes, you can be busy, but communicate, right? The other time, I remember we had a gig in a place that didn't have network, right? So previously, I had gone to that place and I didn't communicate, right? So the fight was about, you knew you were going to this place. You could have told me that you're going to be busy and then I'll prepare for it. Than me sending you text and not getting anything in return, thinking, hey, what is wrong with this person? One, you're offline, you don't have network. How am I supposed to know that if you didn't tell me?
Yeah.
Now I'm worried, I'm anxious, I'm thinking something happened to you because you've been quiet this whole time. Right? So yes, be busy, but tell me beforehand.
Communicate.
Yeah. So yes, you can be busy in a relationship, but then it goes back to communication and how much you value your relationship. If you value it so much, you communicate those things.
That's where I was about to go. Like, busy exists.
Yes.
But communication matters.
Yes.
Like, bro, that's why, like, one of the main backbones in a relationship is communication. And we were talking about this in this episode.
Yeah.
Right? About love being enough.
Been a minute.
You need to communicate how you feel. And by communicating how you feel, you also need to communicate what's happening around you. Like, I remember when I was dating a while back, I would actually send the person I was dating a picture, if I could. Baby, I'm at a shoot. I'll call you later. Right? Or baby, I'm at a shoot. I'll be busy. I'll be able to answer your call. Blah, 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 blah. Man, I miss saying that, bro. But anyways.
Talk to Siri. But this is what I'm going to say, right?
bro.
I'm going to conclude this episode because I feel like we keep adding more things, right? But this is how I'm going to close this episode. You say something that's really interesting just right now, but you didn't realize it, right? So it's related to communicating. Communicate what's around you, right? Communicate what's around you. So you're at a place, you're busy, you're working, you're doing whatever you're doing, but there's someone making moves. Do you tell your partner, right? I'm not going to let Bobby answer this. You say the environment.
But I do want to answer
things around. No.
I do want to answer
Bobby's
this.
not answering this.
Let me tell you this. Okay, I'll say one sentence. I'll say one sentence. People only tell you about the ones they don't like.
Yeah, they only tell you about the people that don't stand a chance. So in any case, this has been a beautiful, insightful episode. See you in the next one. So do not forget to share, like if you're on Spotify, leave a comment. If you're listening on YouTube music, do leave a comment. We're also on the YouTube platform. So do leave a thumbs up so that it suggests to other people. This has been one of those great, amazing ones. See you in the next one.
See you on the next one. We love you guys.
Who do you love, bro?